When Wayne Junior Pearce reluctantly retired from rugby league 3 years ago, his Balmain brethren couldn't stand the loss of their gladiator, which is why they preserve those playing field memories in Local Hero, a production the likes of which the league will probably never see again.
The dreams of Wayne John Pearce, Balmain boy, were about football.
For Junior, it seemed the last hurrah, until news of the sequel. Just when former teammates thought Junior was gone, he's back in the dressing rooms as coach, and you wonder if he ever left.
Big chasing game tonight. Kick a lot more than we planned. You've got to be down there, Harry, brash, right, early. Whenever you can on the full. You know, it's going to be very heavy out there. The ball's going to pull up real quick. So we'll see if we can get them on the full where possible, get to them real quick.
Local Hero 2 is a tough script to follow. When Wayne was captain, Balmain made it into 2 successive grand finals, but lost both. After the Tigers suffered that heartbreaking defeat in extra time to Canberra in 1989, the club was shell-shocked. Junior left the year after, and since, Balmain, one of league's proud founding clubs, has floundered with league's also-rans. Looking like a rabbit in the spotlight, Wayne must satisfy great expectations.
As a player, I placed more expectations on myself and was more filthy and dirty with myself if I didn't produce than I think any of the supporters could be. And as a coach, I think I'll be placing the same, well, I am placing the same expectations on myself. So if the supporters are disappointed with any aspect of the game, then they can guarantee that I'll be twice as disappointed.
After spending much of his childhood in the caretaker's cottage right next to Leichhardt Oval, Wayne played 188 games for the Tigers and 18 for Australia. But while the league world would love to see Junior succeed, there's the lingering question. Wayne's almost puritanical approach to his sport worked for him as a player, but will it be enough to ensure success as a coach? Unbelievers would only need to spend a day with Junior to understand his football religion. Because you can't play anymore, and you're still doing as much work in the gym as you did then, probably.
Oh, no, I'm not doing anywhere near as much now as I used to do. And I vary a lot more now because, you know, I'm not training to be a footballer, so I don't train as heavy or as like often twice a day or anything like that. I just train 3 or 4 times a week, and when I do, I go for a couple of hours. Probably not as fit as I was, but I believe I'm healthier.
The gym isn't necessarily Wayne's choice for exercise. He works out in gyms and pools because he can't run. Multiple knee operations forced Junior out of the game, and surgeons have told him that sooner or later he will probably need a new knee. 10, 15 years down the track, I might need to get a replacement, which, you know, it sounds pretty awesome, I suppose, to people out there to have an artificial joint put in, but it's going to become more and more commonplace. But while it may be crumbling, Wayne still treats his body as a temple. After his father died early at 48, Wayne drew a line through alcohol, cigarettes, any impurities. Breakfast with wife Terry and family, and you understand what the Balmain players have to look forward to. You don't always get what you order.
Would you like breakfast with us, Mike?
I'd love breakfast with you, Terry. I'd like bacon and eggs if I could.
Okay.
Bacon and eggs, cup of coffee.
Okay.
Wait, how many bacon and have dairy foods? Because I'm allergic to the dairy foods.
What's this? Terry? Bacon and eggs.
It's called bone meal, and it's actually ground up ox bones. It's a natural calcium supplement, and it's in the...
Wayne, you're kidding.
Looks great. Why don't you try some?
Ground up bones, mate. That's all
Yeah,
right.
no, just add it to this.
It's all right.
Looks like cement and powder and all that sort of stuff.
This is not coffee. What is this, Wayne?
It's called fenugreek. It's a herbal tea, and it'll just cleanse you right out.
He may sound like a man impossible to live with, and Junior may have built his career on strict personal discipline, but he's still flexible enough to make exceptions. In a revelation that Wayne may live to regret, he admits that after the Newcastle victory, away from the camera, he succumbed to a big burger.
I didn't want it to damage my reputation, so I sent one of the boys in to grab a Big Mac for me, and I had it out in the car park, and I was pretty happy with that. I celebrated the win.
Wayne's world also extends to drink. Players can't consume alcohol any later than a Wednesday before a match. And his penchant for detail extends much further than diet. He knows exactly what his players are doing on the field.
Brasher is in two minds, which is entitled to be. It's good play by this fella here coming through, but Matt Munro should have been aware and should have stayed alive on the inside.
And the university science graduate is slipping easily into his role as analyst. Junior can't wait to punch all of this into the computer he has on order.
So anyone with a minus score is dead set in strike. You can't have an undisciplined, lazy attitude for most of the week and then be a superstar on the football field on the 7th. And each and every day you have stress and hassles and all that sort of stuff. And if you can rectify the problem areas, then game day should take care of itself if the preparation's been good.
As the Tigers were greeted by their fans for the Winfield Cup opener against North Sydney last night, the Pearce experiment started in earnest. The romance of the local hero aside, this inner-city club is desperate for success. The home crowd average last year was less than 7,000. The Tigers are holding on to hardcore supporters in an ageing facility.
We're probably everyone's second favourite team. We've got tremendous support around the countryside, and we go to Brisbane and we set ground records in Brisbane. We go to Canberra, we set ground records there. We go to Campbelltown, we set ground records there. Our problem, of course, is our home support, and we've got to get people back to Lakeheart. But PSC brings that spirit back into the side. The club is renowned for their backs to the wall performances, and I think he'll get that commitment and dedication that maybe we haven't had in the last few years.
What Wayne hasn't been able to avoid is being measured against the coach he followed. The man who for most of his turbulent term enjoyed a profile larger than the team, media personality Alan Jones. What makes it easier for Junior is that Jones's record, where it matters, the premiership table, won't be hard to beat.
Suffice to say that one of the areas that needed to be worked on was discipline, and that's something that I believe we've gained a lot in.
While Pearce won't be drawn on any comparisons with Alan Jones, if there is one major difference between these two men, it's that Pearce pretends to be no more than a football coach, and he'll live and die on his record.
I believe coaches should coach and administrators should administrate.
But you don't get on the phone, you don't have contacts in high places, one?
No, I don't know the Prime Minister, but...
I bet you he knows you.
Guy comes forward, looks for support on the shoulder. Wood does a good job. We run into a hole and run into another one. Picks up Morgan Edwards. Back to the man who scored the first...
Wayne has given his charges a taste of success. Pre-season scalps included Newcastle and East, before Balmain fell to the Challenge Cup winners Souths. It may be early, but club spirit has been rekindled.
Sensational. Just a whole new club it is. We've made a lot of changes, a lot of new faces, and new blood, new enthusiasm. It's great.
In harnessing the talents of a player dubbed anything from hard to handle to volcanic recalcitrant, Wayne Pearce may be succeeding where others have failed. Mark Geyer is, for the time being at least, happy with the world.
Well, he's a good 50-50 coach. He gives and he takes. He's always willing to listen to advice because he's only new at the game himself. So obviously there's a few senior players here and I'm one of them, so if I've got something to bring up, well, he listens to me. And on the same side, he's got a lot of confidence in what he says, and he seems to know that he's the boss and nothing else is tolerated, which is probably what we really need here, and will turn us around, I think.
You know, he's now 26 years of age. He really has to mature in the next 12 months if he's going to set himself up in life after football. If he doesn't, then like so many footballers before him, all the productive years as a footballer will have been to no avail come retirement from football, because he won't have anything to fall back on.
And Junior is willing to bargain with his players, even dangle carrots. Before the Newcastle match, the big forward was promised a mobile phone, if he behaved.
One person in the crowd said something to Mark, which, you know, he should have just ignored, but he was drinking a cup of water and he threw the cup at the crowd, and I saw him do that, so I just got on the walkie-talkie and I said, Mark, no mobile phone if you do that again, and just signalled back and just sat down. So
he got his mobile phone.
He got his mobile phone, and he's going to be contactable now, which is the bottom line. I think we would have gave him the mobile phone anyway, even if he did hit him with the cup.
But last night, there were few chances for Junior to smile. Up against an experienced outfit in Norths, the Tigers' flaws became obvious, and the frustration of the sideline was beginning to show. For all the preparation he does, Junior now knows it's not going to be easy staying this club's local hero.
Nah, it's not a fairy tale start, I suppose, but the good thing is we were in a position to win the game at half-time if we had stuck to our cue cards, but unfortunately we just dropped too much possession early on in that second half. The problem they have is not believing in their ability. I think when they start to believe in their ability and believe that will come to the fore provided they control possession, then we're going to win games such as this on a regular basis.
It's a tough business, playing and coaching, as Wayne is finding out. Another footballing great was big news.